You wake up as a citizen of Pompeii, a bustling Roman town resting quietly in the shadow of a sleeping mountain.
Your home is modest but comfortable. Its walls painted with bright frescoes that most families here take real pride in. You splash cool water across your face, entirely unaware this ordinary morning will soon become known throughout history. You dress quickly in plain linen, the same practical clothing worn by thousands of ordinary Pompeians every single day. Stepping outside, you walk streets worn smooth by generations, streets that carts and sandals have shaped for centuries. Neighbors greet you warmly along the way. This close-knit community bound together by trade, family, and shared routine. The Forum opens before you, the civic heart of Pompeii, where politics, religion, and daily commerce all intersect freely.
You pause outside a bakery, the smell of fresh bread rising warmly into a street already crowded with hungry customers.
You glance briefly at the mountain overlooking your town, a familiar sight that has never once given you real reason for worry. You buy fresh bread for the morning, exchanging small coins for small pleasures, unaware how precious this normalcy truly is. The marketplace hums with noise and color, vendors calling loudly over baskets of olives, fresh fish, and clay wine jars.
You examine a painted jug closely, admiring the merchant's careful craftsmanship before deciding it is worth the asking price.
You arrive at your workshop, joining fellow craftsmen already busy, shaping metal and wood into goods sold across the region.
Your hands move with practiced skill, shaping metal into objects that will outlast you far longer than you can imagine. A colleague jokes beside you, and you laugh briefly together, the easy friendship of men who share long working days.
By midday, the sun sits high above Pompeii, and the warm air carries no hint of the danger building beneath the mountain. You pass grand villas along the way, their gardens and fountains hinting at the wealth some Pompeian families quietly enjoyed. You step into the public baths, where steam rises gently, and citizens of every class gather to relax and converse.
You relax in warm water, discussing local gossip and news with acquaintances, the bathhouse a favorite social gathering place. Refreshed, you dress once more and step back into the afternoon light, ready for whatever remains of an ordinary day. The Forum grows busier still, merchants and officials weaving between temples, in a rhythm this town has followed for generations.
Children chase each other around a fountain nearby, their laughter carrying across the square as adults smile watching them.
You pause to read painted notices on the wall, colorful slogans urging citizens to support their favored local candidate. An old friend greets you warmly near the temple steps, and together you sit briefly, catching up in comfortable shade. You share a simple meal together, bread and grapes passed between old friends who have known each other since childhood. Your friend mentions small tremors felt lately, though neither of you imagines they signal anything beyond a passing nuisance.
Did you feel that tremor? You shrug the comment off casually. It was nothing. Tremors here are common enough to barely interrupt an otherwise pleasant afternoon.
You bid your friend farewell and continue onward, passing grand temples glowing warmly beneath the softening afternoon sun. You return briefly to finish your final task of the day, unaware how few ordinary tasks remain left to complete. Walking home as the sun begins setting, you feel only the quiet satisfaction of a day spent much like any other. A new morning begins, though the light feels subtly different today, a faint haze lingering strangely over the quiet town. You step outside and notice faint smoke drifting from the mountain's summit, an unusual sight that draws your curious attention.
Neighbors gather nearby, pointing toward the smoke with uncertain expressions, none quite sure what the sight might mean.
You continue toward the market regardless, deciding the smoke is likely nothing more than an unusual passing curiosity.
A sudden low rumble shakes the ground faintly beneath your feet, rattling pottery and drawing worried glances all around. You look up sharply toward the mountain, watching a dark column of smoke rise rapidly higher into the afternoon sky.
Panic spreads quickly through the market now, vendors abandoning their stalls as the darkening horizon becomes impossible to ignore.
You hurry back toward home, weaving through streets suddenly filled with worried residents rushing in every direction.
The sky darkens dramatically above you, fine gray ash drifting downward, settling silently across rooftops and empty streets.
We must leave now. Grab only what you need. You reach home and gather your family quickly, urging them calmly yet firmly to prepare for a sudden, hurried departure.
Ash falls heavily now, coating every rooftop gray, as residents cover their faces and move quickly through the thickening haze.
You lead your family through crowded streets, small stones striking rooftops around you as the ground trembles occasionally underfoot.
You pause briefly beneath a stone archway, sheltering your family from falling debris while catching a difficult, hurried breath. Other families rush past through the haze, carrying hurried bundles, calling anxiously for loved ones separated in the chaos.
You decide to press onward toward the coast, hoping the harbor might offer safety far from the mountain's growing fury. The sky grows almost entirely dark despite midday. Thick ash blotting out the sun above a town struggling to breathe. You wrap cloth tightly around your family's faces, guiding them carefully through whose streets now buried ankle-deep in ash.
A distant orange glow flickers against the darkened sky, a constant reminder that the mountain's fury has not yet ended. The scene fades slowly into darkness, the roaring storm softening gradually into a silence history would never quite forget.
You hold your family close beneath a sturdy doorway, waiting quietly together as the ash storm rages steadily outside.
Centuries pass quietly above the buried town, nature slowly reclaiming a place that history had seemingly forgotten entirely.
Centuries later, careful excavators begin digging through hardened ash, slowly uncovering fragments of walls painted long ago. An archaeologist brushes just ash carefully aside, revealing intricate mosaic patterns preserved in...
Researchers examine carefully preserved casts, documenting each shape, with quiet respect for the lives once lived here.
Today, visitors walk respectfully through these ancient streets, the mountain now peaceful beneath a calm and open sky.
A guide gestures toward preserved frescoes, explaining patiently how these colors somehow survived nearly 2,000 years.
A single hardened loaf of bread rests behind glass, a small, quiet echo of the ordinary morning you once lived. Mount Vesuvius stands calmly today, green and quiet, its violent history now studied rather than feared by nearby residents.
Students gather now around these displays, learning how one ordinary day became one of history's most studied disasters.
Though your ordinary life ended that day, Pompeii itself endures, preserved in ash so the world would never forget.